Hello everyone and assalamu alaikum. This is Introduction to Psychology Part 1 by Dear Knowledge. Okay, we have successfully completed the chapter 6, which was all about perception. So if you haven't watched that video, I have given a link in description. Go ahead, click on that link and watch those videos. This is the last chapter of Introduction to Psychology Part 1, which is chapter 7 about attention. And in this video, in the chapter 7, we will be discussing about the factors, subjective and objective. We'll be discussing span of attention, we'll be discussing the fluctuation of attention, and we'll also be discussing about distraction of attention under the chapter of attention. So we'll start with a proper introduction about attention, and then we'll describe each those topics in great detail. So, if you talk about attention, now human beings live in a vast environment, and every moment of human life is in contact with a vast number of stimuli which have the potentiality to stimulate the sense organs, and thus human beings are capable of receiving a huge amount of information from the environment. And this process of receiving information from the vast environment is a sensory process of sensing the environment. And human beings also organize whatever they sense. This leads to organized experience of the sense data, which is called perception, and we have already discussed this in chapter 6. If you haven't watched those videos, I have given a link in the description. Go ahead, click on those links and watch those videos. Now, human beings take in and use only a small portion of the available stimuli in the environment. Now, this refers to a mechanism that operates in selecting and processing of stimuli which are of great deal or which are of great interest and highly valuable to us for adjustment. And this mechanism is called the attentional process. Now, it is a sort of selective perception because this lecture is devoted to this important mechanism that enables us to selectively perceive the objects, process, or events from a wide range of stimuli and process the selected stimuli for the sake of adjustment with the environment. So let's start with nature and definition of attention. Now, attention is a very common term for everyday language, and we often use the term like giving or attention to this or that thing or situation, and concentrating attention on something, shifting of attention from one thing to another, and etc. Now, all such usages of the term leads us to think of attention as a faculty or power that can be manipulated in any direction we wish to. However, this assumption is very simple. An attention is a behavior, an act, a process of attending, and not a power or faculty. Now, therefore, it is more preferable to call it attending than attention. And attention is a motivational process, and out of wide range of stimuli which are within physiological range, we tend to select only those which are related to our present need states or interests. For example, when an individual is deeply motivated to study, for example, and that person is deeply involved in study, now he is not aware of the other things placed on his reading table or the stimuli around him in the reading room. Now, the temperature, the different books on the table, alarm clock, conversation going on by others in a room attached to the reading room, furnishing in the room, and etc. He's not noticing all those things. And sometimes the act like somebody's entry to the room and placing a cup of tea on the reading table also goes unnoticed. And this means that the reader is selectively focusing on a single activity, which is reading, and the other stimuli of the surrounding are not being noticed. Now, the mechanism of attentional process is a process of selective perception, which is called attending. And what follows from the description which we have discussed about the nature of the process of attending is that it is a selective process of perceiving certain stimuli and either ignoring or not taking into mental awareness of other stimuli present in the environment. Now, accordingly, the process of attending may be defined as attention is a term given to perceptual process that selects certain stimuli for inclusion into or conscious experience or awareness in a given period of time. Now, from this definition, it is obvious that attention is to attend, and to attend is a state of readiness to selectively bring certain stimuli of the environment into the focus of consciousness or attention. So, attention process can be or attentional process can be characterized as attention is to attend, it is a selective process, and the process of attention divides our field of consciousness into center and margin, or into focus and margin. So we'll be discussing these steps or these processes in great detail. Now, attentional process. Uh, the first one is about attention is to attend. Now, this refers to a process of potential act, and therefore it is not mentally or mental faculty or power. And then there is to attend. Attentional process is to attend. Now, this denotes a state of readiness to take in or bring in certain stimuli or aspects of the environment into one's center of consciousness or focus of attention. So the attending person is mentally set to bring into his consciousness a kind of inclination to attend. Then there is selective process. Now, about selective process, it is an attentional process, or attention is a selective process because it is a selective process to take in certain stimuli into one's um, focus of consciousness, and while attending we do not respond indiscriminately to every stimuli or aspect of environment. Rather, we respond selectively in terms of our need states, interests, attitudes, etc. The last one is about attention. The process of attention divides our field of consciousness into focus, which is center, and margin. Now, the events that are attended to are clearly perceived because such events are taken into or focus field of consciousness, while the others are either dimly perceived or not perceived at all because they're or these are in the margin or peripheries of the focal consciousness. Now, to understand the nature of attentional process, let us describe the process with an analogy of dish antenna on the roof. Now, our sense organs are the windows to which to the external world, and these windows are capable of picking up any amount of available information. But there is a mechanism of regularity that filters or partly or partially blocks out some inputs and allows others to get through. Now, in this sense, our sense organs are like dish antenna on the roof that can pick up all the available signals, but the tuner in our television system selects only the signal for which it has been tuned by the viewer, and the remaining other signals are filtered out. Now, in the same manner, the attentional process limits or block out the reception of the stimuli in a selective manner, and in this sense, the attentional process serves the function of tuning by filtering out the information selectively for being processed. Now, this selective function or filtering function is governed by the center or directed by the brain. Now, these processes serve various functions in the organization of our perception and other cognitive function. So this was the end of the video. If your concept is clear, you can like the video. If not, you can ask us in the comment section and we will be happy to help you out. Plus, if you're new to this channel, you can subscribe to our channel. You can subscribe to Dear Knowledge, and you can share the link of this channel and videos with your family members and friends because sharing is caring. Until then, Allah Hafiz.